What's up, YouTube friends? Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy gift that's really fast to whip up but still looks great. If you need a last minute hostess gift or something like that, this will be perfect. In my case, I've been behind this holiday because of deer hunting season. Now I only have a couple weeks left and I still haven't got a deer. So I need a fast and easy gift I can whip up between setting in the stand. The things you're going to need to make this easy gift are a kitchen towel. Now this one measures 17 inches by 25 inches. And I got this at Walmart and it was only $1 something. You're going to need 2 pieces of fabric that measure 8 inches square. Now I'm going to use the same fabric, but you could go ahead and use different fabrics. That would look great too. And you're also going to need a button. Now I'll be using my buttonhole attachment on my sewing machine, but if you don't have that or don't feel comfortable using it, you can go ahead and just use some Velcro. And that's it. You also need your sewing machine with thread. I'll be using white. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and take one of my squares of fabric. I'm going to lay it with the pretty side facing up. I'm going to take my second square of fabric and I'm going to lay it so the pretty side is facing down. So now you just want to grab some pins and I'm going to pin this together. Now I'm going to be sure to leave a 2-inch opening on one side so that we can turn this later on. So now I'm just going to take this over to my sewing machine and using a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm going to start right here at this pin. I'm going to backstitch and I'm going to sew all the way around, stopping right here and backstitching, leaving my opening. Alright guys, so I'm over here at my sewing machine. I'll be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance and a straight stitch. My length is a 2 and my width is a 0. So don't forget to backstitch. And just keep sewing. Alright guys, when you get to a corner, I'm a 1/4 inch away from the edge here. I stopped with my needle down. I'm going to raise my presser foot and spin. Then just keep sewing. Now I'm coming up to my final pin, leaving my 2-inch opening. So I'm going to stop right there and backstitch. Alright guys, so now I'm just going to clip my threads here. And then I'm going to go ahead and clip the extra fabric on the corners here, but don't go through your seam allowance. So now I'm just going to go ahead and turn this right side out. Just like that, guys. And now you just want to take a bone folder or something sharp, but not too sharp, and poke out your corners. Now I'm just going to take this over to my sewing machine. I'm going to press it nice and flat, and where our opening is right here, I'm going to tuck in that opening, just like that, and give it a press. So I have this nice and pressed. Here's my opening, and I'm just going to stick a pin right there just so I know where it is. And we want to set this off to the side for just a minute and grab your towel. So now we just want to find the center point going the long way. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And I'm just going to finger press it here. You could take it over to your iron if you wanted to. Now I'm going to open it back up. And I can see right here is the center of my towel. I'm going to make sure that my tag is in the back. So now you just want to take our square here, and I'm going to line up this point with the center crease and these end points with the seam that runs right along the edge of the towel. You can kind of see it better here from the back. So it's going to go something like this. Just like that. And where your opening is, you want that either on this side or this side on the towel. That way when we go and top stitch this on, it's going to close our opening. So now I'm just going to take some pins here and pin it in place. Alright guys, so you should have something that looks like this. And as you can see, the points of my square match up with the seam of the towel. Alright guys, so now I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine again. And I'm going to start right here about an 1/8 inch away from this side. I'm going to back stitch, and with an 1/8 inch seam allowance, I'm going to top stitch all the way down. Stop right here with your needle down, raise your presser foot and spin, and continue to top stitch until you get over to this corner. And stop about an 1/8 of an inch away and back stitch. That's going to go ahead and close our little opening right here. So we'll meet you over at the sewing machine. Alright guys, so I'm starting about an 1/8 of an inch away from this side right here, and I'm going to back stitch. And then just keep sewing. Alright guys, so when you're doing this 1/8 inch seam allowance, you want to go pretty slow. It's easy just to get going, and then next thing you know, you're sliding off your fabric. Alright guys, so I stopped about an 1/8 of an inch away from my corner. Now my foot has these little notches on it that makes it very easy for me to tell when I'm a 1/4 inch away or 1/8 inch away. I stopped with my needle down. I'm going to raise my presser foot and spin. Now I'm just going to finish off my seam. Alright guys, so I think I said I was only going to do the bottom and up here, but I'm going to go ahead and top stitch all the way around the square. So here I'm at the edge of my towel. I stopped about an 1/8 inch away, and I'm going to do the same thing. Needle down, presser foot up, and spin. Now I'm going to continue to sew until I get back here where I started and back stitch. Alright guys, so I think I told you that I was only going to sew down here. I lied. I used the 1/8 inch seam allowance, and I went ahead and sewed all the way around the square. You could probably see a little better here from the back. Alright guys, so now I'm going to take this back over to my sewing machine, and this time I'll be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'll start somewhere over here and back stitch, and I'll go ahead and go down this side, spin, go up this side, but this time I'm going to go straight across, following my seam here on my towel. Now you could go ahead and draw a line if you feel more comfortable, but I can feel the edge of my towel here when I'm at my sewing machine, and it's about a 1/4 inch away. So that's how I'm just going to do it. So I'll meet you back over at the sewing machine. So like I said, I'll be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to start about a 1/4 of an inch away from this side. And actually, I can feel right here with my towel, I'm right on that seam. And just keep sewing. Alright guys, so I'm coming up to my corner right here. So I'm going to stop where I can feel the edge of my towel, this seam right here. I'm going to spin my project. And like I said, I can feel the edge of the towel right here. So I'm just going to line up that edge with the side of my presser foot, and sew. Alright guys, so it should look something like this. Now I did get a little crazy over here, but it's the back of the towel, so I don't think anybody's going to notice. So now we're just going to go ahead and put on our buttonhole. Now I'll be using my buttonhole foot on my sewing machine, so just go ahead and get your book that came along with your sewing machine, and it'll tell you exactly how to set it up. Alright guys, so I want my buttonhole about a 1/2 inch in from the corner. So I marked it with some chalk so I know where to start and stop. Alright guys, so this is my buttonhole foot. So now you just want to pick out a button that you like. I'll be using this green one. And you want to stick it up here at the top. And close it. That way it will give you the perfect buttonhole for that size of button. So now I'm just going to take off my regular presser foot. And stick on my buttonhole. Just like that. Now on my machine, I turned my dial to the buttonhole. The length is between a 0 and a 1, which is for my buttonhole. And my width is at 6. And that's what my book recommends. So now I'm just going to stick in my project here. Alright, so the way that mine works is it's going to stitch the front, then go up, stitch the back, then go back down. So I'm starting closest to my point. There's a little lever here that I'm going to pull down and push back. And hopefully I'll have a buttonhole. And just like that, I have a buttonhole. Alright guys, so now with the sharp X-Acto knife, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the center of my buttonhole. Being careful not to go through my stitches. Now this is 2 layers of fabric, so it might take a couple tries. That looks good to me. Alright guys, so now we just need to find the placement for our button. Now I went ahead and went up to my stove handle, and I measured down to what I thought was a good placement. And it just happens to be 5 inches down from the bottom of our buttonhole. So that's where I'm going to hand sew on my button. And like I said, if you don't have a buttonhole foot or you don't feel comfortable using it, you can go ahead and just sew on a piece of Velcro here, and that'll work just fine. So now I'm just going to hand sew on my button, and I'll show you what this looks like on the stove. Alright guys, so there you have it. I think it looks great. Now I just bought these towels for this project, so they're a little stiff, but the more you wash it and use it, the softer it'll be and the prettier it will hang. Now I hope you give this project a try. Now this would make the perfect hostess gift or a housewarming gift, or what I'm going to use them for is probably a Christmas gift for my aunt. Now I hope you give this project a try. If you like this project and want to see more of my projects, go down below and hit the big red subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or just like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.